Now, final score with Troy Lynch on Fox 16.
It was nice to win one and kind of know in the middle of the game that if we just held it together a little bit, we were going to win it.
They leave it over the plate, I feel like right now, than anybody.
Oh man, I get goosebumps every time I see that Charlie Welch home run. Baum Walker was pumped, and we're pumped to have you hang with us here on the final score. We're talking lots of baseball today, so let's play some Hogtastic or Hogwash. Super Regional Edition. The Hogs are taking on an opponent from the ACC, number 16, North Carolina State. However, the first game looked like the Hogs were playing some little leaguers. A 21-2 win over the Wolfpack. Drum roll, please. That's Hogtastic. Hey, this is the easiest Hogtastic of the year. Hogs won by 19 runs. Dave Van Horn was using some sort of cheat code in this video game. The nation's leader in home runs hit 4 home runs, including a grand slam from third baseman Colin Smith, and then 2 dingers from Robert Moore, or as he earned the title, Big Hit Bob. Moore and Charlie Welch both needed a triple to complete the cycle. However, Moore hit another home run instead, and Welch was walked twice. The offense was legally old enough to drink. Everything was working for the Hogs Friday night in Game 1.
It almost played like the wind was blowing out, and we were very fortunate. We got some balls up and hit them out of the park.
Was there music playing?
We took advantage of, obviously, a lot of walks and different things. I think that NC State, you know, when they pulled Johnson, they went with some guys that weren't as experienced when we got up 7-1. And, you know, I don't blame them a bit. You know, sometimes you just have to let it go, and that's what they did.
We don't necessarily have 9 guys. We have 12 or 13. We don't have just a 9-guy lineup, which is, once again, credit to our coaching staff, getting everyone here and developing these players and have players that are dynamic and can be in multiple roles. And I think we're going to get a Christian back tomorrow, which is great. And, you know, just another boost to try to win one more game.
50 is a big number. We've won a lot of games, and, you know, we still have work to do. We're not going to get all carried away about it. It'll be something we'll probably talk about when the season's over, but we got to keep winning.
50 wins in a season, that's a first for Dave Van Horn, and that's pretty impressive based off of his resume. But since there was so much that happened in that game, we're going to keep talking about it. Just about pitching this time, it was also Hogtastic in Game 1 against NC State. Let's hold it up. There it is, Arkansas Southpaw Patrick Wicklander. He got the start and was super. Actually, he was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's a tough word to say, but he was a tough man to hit on that fateful Friday night. He gave up only 6 hits and a run in 6 tough innings of work. He also fanned 6 batters too. What was really important about his performance is that Coach Dave Van Horn didn't have to use the Collegiate Baseball Player of the Year, Kevin KOPPS. DVH pulled 2 other guys from the bullpen to close the game out. So KOPPS, after throwing 185 pitches in just 4 days last weekend, he got another day of rest. A lot of that thanks to the performance from Wicklander.
It's always nice to have a lead, especially early in the game. So it allowed me to attack carriers a little bit more.
Really good job by Patrick Wicklander giving us 6 innings tonight. You know, they scored in the second on us, and he got out of a jam in the third, had a chance to give up another run at least. I think they had runners second, third, and 1 out. I think he got a pop-up and maybe a strikeout.
You beat a team by 19 in the first night. You should crush the team again in the second, right? Baseball doesn't work that way. The Wolfpack got its revenge with a 6-5 win in Game 2, calling that hogwash for Arkansas. Believe it or not, the Hogs actually scored first. We haven't seen that very often this year. However, 1 inning spoiled the entire game for the Hogs. That was in the 4th. Ryan Kostu could not miss any bats. The Wolfpack smashed 3 home runs, accounting for 4 of their 6 runs. Hard to come back from that. The Hogs made it close, ultimately couldn't get the job done.
Well, I think a couple of those, or at least one of them, I mean, it wasn't a bad pitch. I think the first one, it was kind of down and away. So went and got it, hit it out of the park, and might even been a changeup. But, you know, missing some spots. Give them credit, too. They fouled off a lot of pitches, and and finally got something that they could handle. So, you know, it's really hard to tell from the side, you know, exactly where those pitches were located, but, you know, they did a good job getting to them.
What a crazy super regional. That's it for Hogtastic and Hogwash. When we come back, we're going to tell you the story about how Charlie Welch's historic home run against Nebraska found its way back to him through one of the nicest couples you'll meet. Don't miss it.
You're watching Final Score on Fox 16. You're watching Final Score on Fox 16.
One of the main reasons why Arkansas played in the Super Regionals is because of the 3-run home run last Monday from pinch hitter Charlie Welch. It was a moment that Hog fans won't forget for a long time, especially the Sprouts. They were the ones who ended up with the home run ball.
Bases loaded, the wild pitch puts the Hogs in front.
A home run that sealed the deal for #1 Arkansas to advance to the Super Regionals. A now historic 3-run home run from Charlie Welch that put Arkansas up 6-2 against Nebraska. Jacob and Jalen Sprout were the ones who ended up with the home run ball.
I see it coming to us, and I know it's going to go behind us, maybe about 4 or 5 rows back or whatever, but I'm like, oh my goodness. And so I'm just kind of seeing it, and it goes to like kind of a crowd of people. And so I'm like, oh, okay, let me just step into the aisle here just to see, and then kind of clunks around for 10, 15 seconds. And just the next thing you know, it's rolling right to me. And I'm like, well, all right, and then scoop it up. And then I kind of like tried to walk back to my seat and tried to hide it. I don't know why I was going to hide it, but then I was like, I'm just going crazy because like we just passed ball to 3-2, and then the next pitch, 3-run homer. It's like unbelievable.
I had the tickets. There was a little mess up on the Sunday night. I was laying in bed watching it, and all of a sudden Charlie hit that shot. I jumped up out of bed, started screaming, and when I saw where it was headed, I said, that's Jacob, that's where Jacob's sitting. So I picked the phone up and called Jacob. He wasn't answering, all of a sudden, I got the ball!
Once we made it home after the game, and I'm seeing how pure and clean that home run hit, oh my goodness, I was like, that's a moment. And I think that's when it all set in, like how crazy and how insane and special that baseball is going to mean.
A baseball that is most special to the man who hit it.
He actually told us we could keep the ball. He's like, I understand if you want to keep the ball, but I'd love to have it. And we were like, no. By this point, it had been all day. We had made the decision to give it back. I come from a baseball family, so I know what it means to him. And even though it's a super awesome story for us, it's infinitely more meaningful to him, and it's priceless.
Later that week, after a 19-run win in the Super Regional, the ball went back to its rightful owner.
It's been pretty crazy, but I think, you know, it was the right thing to do. You know, like, that's just baseball code, baseball ethics, you know, like, if I catch a home run ball and he wants it back, you know, I'm going to get that back 100% of the time, you know, so it doesn't really matter about the exact moment or whatever, and it's going to be, it's a priceless thing to him. It's just more of a story, and, like, that's the moment or whatever for me, so, like, 1,000% that's the right thing to do.
Absolutely love that story. The Sprouts didn't walk away empty-handed. They had a super swap. Welch gave the couple a bat signed by Dave Van Horn and signed a couple of team baseballs. And now we talk about the biggest high school news of the week. The Natural State's best player in the 2023 class will no longer be with Central High. Tigers' Bryson Warren will play with Link Academy starting his junior year. It's a Christian travel team that's based out of Branson, Missouri. Its nickname is Development University because of all the talent that they produce. They have 32 active Division I basketball players and one in the pros. This is a similar route that former Razorback and projected NBA lottery pick Moses Moody did when he was back at high school in North Little Rock, except Warren is ranked better than Moody. According to 24/7 Sports, Warren is the 32nd best prospect in the country out of that 2023 class. 4th best at the point guard position and best in Arkansas. He's a Razorback target, and he also took his unofficial visit to Kansas today. Arkansas head football coach Sam Pittman was down in Little Rock earlier this week. He was named the Leader of the Year by the Boys and Girls Club of Central Arkansas. Pittman's only been the head coach for the Razorbacks for 1 season and only won 3 out of the 10 SEC games last year. However, that's a huge improvement from the previous years. And fans, they told me that he's brought back hope to this football program. I asked Coach at the awards ceremony why he thought he was chosen for Leader of the Year.
I don't know. You know, I know one thing. I love the state of Arkansas. So I don't know, and I'm hoping that people feel like our program's headed in the right direction, and I hope they saw that a little bit. We'll get a lot better, but I think we are headed in the right direction, and that's leadership by a lot of people, not just me. It was the greatest year of my life, and something very, very special.
Incredibly humble. Congrats to Coach. Only 83 days until the Hogs open up the 2021 season at home against Rice, asparagus, and steak. Nope, I'm just hungry. We're just talking about Rice University. 83 days, though. That's coming up. Hey, talking about coming up, when we come back, we're giving out this week's superlatives. Don't miss it. It's right here on the Final Score.
You're watching Final Score on Fox 16. You're watching Final Score on Fox 16.
Got the bow tie on, and I'm ready to give out our Sunday superlatives. This week, we have 4 of them. All right, today, the winner of the clutchest moment of the week goes to, drum roll please, Arkansas's pinch hitter extraordinaire, Charlie Welch. It was a humid Monday night at Baum-Walker Stadium. Arkansas tied with Nebraska in the bottom of the 8th inning in the last game of the regional. Charlie lets a wild pitch go. Christian Franklin scores. Hogs have the lead, but watch Dave Van Horn in the dugout. Celebrates for a second, then gives Welch the green light to swing away on a 2-0 count. That was some good advice because that next pitch, Yahtzee, Welch crushes a 3-run bomb to left field that sealed the Cornhuskers' fate and propelled Arkansas to the Super Regionals. Thus, the legend of Charlie Welch was born. The next 2 games, he also hit a home run. Pretty impressive streak for him. You know, every once in a while, you get a player that does something that you didn't even think was possible, which was one of the best parts about sports, and also it's just incredible to watch. Most likely to be a superhero goes to Arkansas closer Kevin KOPPS. Last week in the regional, he pitched Friday, Saturday, and Monday. 24 pitches on on Friday, 71 in 4 innings against Nebraska on Saturday. Then with just 1 day off, 90 pitches in 7 innings of work on Monday. In just a span of 4 days, KOPPS threw 185 pitches. He threw 13 1/3 innings, struck out 15 batters, given up only 6 hits, and didn't give up any runs. If he's not in the next Avengers movie, I'll be pretty upset. That's absolutely incredible. Even some of the best players go through a slump, though, or maybe they have to overcome an injury, and it takes them a little bit to get back to full strength. The winner of the Bounce Back Performance of the Week goes to, I love this drum roll, Arkansas first baseman Brady Slavens. The Hogs' RBI leader was out for 10 days with a lateral ankle sprain that normally takes 1 to 3 weeks to heal. Yeah, that's nasty right there. Fully healed or not, Slavens came back a week and a half later in the injury. He struggled at the plate. His first 2 games back in the regional tournament, he went a combined 0 for 7, striking out 6 times. It was rough, but the slump didn't last long. He smoked a 2 RBI double in the first game of the Super Regional against NC State. The next day, launched a 2-run home run. Safe to say he got his timing back, and the Hogs, they needed him. All right, last week, our Fan of the Week went to 2 people. One who brings a giant cardboard potato with him to every baseball game. The other, a master with the finger guns. This week, a little bit different. The Fan of the Week goes to Arkansas head basketball coach Eric Musselman. It's the off season right now. I mean, he could be on vacation on the sunny beaches of Florida, but no. Instead, he comes to every baseball game waving giant flags, going hog wild in the hog pen. Whew, show me another coach who loves his school more than Eric Musselman. That's why Arkansas head basketball coach is this week's Fan of the Week. Oh, it's so great to see. Those are your Sunday superlatives, and up next, we got your top plays of the week. They're 5 good ones. We'll be right back.
You're watching Final Score on Fox 16. You're watching Final Score on Fox 16.
We've got the 5 best plays of the week for your eyes only. Coming in at number 5, more defense, please. First game of the Super Regional, Robert Moore helping Patrick Wicklander out. Robbing NC State of a hit with this sweet sliding play. And we're going to see more in just a second. That's a lot of more. Hey, number 4. I'm just rhyming all day. Same game. Arkansas's Colin Smith says, "Who do you think you are? I am hitting a grand slam." The bad boy of baseball. 4th grand salami for the Hogs this season. This one gives the Razorbacks a 7-1 lead over the Wolfpack. That's when things started to get out of hand in that game. 21 runs in that one. 3rd best play of the week, though. Center fielder Christian Franklin doing everything he can to keep the Cornhuskers off the board in Game 7. When it comes to saving runs, it's do or do not. There is no try for Franklin. The force is always with him in the outfield. It seems like every week he's making plays like this. Hog fans, they got to be used to it by now, I'm sure. Play number 2, ironically, it's the same amount of home runs Robert Moore hit in the first Super Regional game against NC State. They don't call him Big Hit Bob for no reason. His first came in the 2nd inning against the Wolfpack. A 2-run bomb. 6 innings later, Lightning struck for a 2nd time. A 3-run shot, just the opposite way. His 3rd 2-homer game of the season. He had 4 hits and 5 RBIs in just one night. Not a bad way to kickstart the Super Regional. Arkansas ended up winning 21-2. Number 1. You already know. We've shown it about 1,000 times on the show already, but we're going to show you one more time because it doesn't get old. Pinch hitter Charlie Welch demolishing a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th to put Game 7 out of reach against number 19 Nebraska. Goosebumps every time. Arkansas ended up winning 6-2 in one of the best baseball games we've seen all year. Woo, that was a lot of fun. Hey, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Chris, Hayden, I think Lane was just in here. Everybody in production says goodbye. You have a great week. We'll see you next week on The Final Score.